All right, so you're finally ready to launch that website of yours. That's
Yeah.
awesome. But first, you need a place to actually build it.
Right.
That's where web hosting comes in. And I feel like two names you've probably heard already are Bluehost and GoDaddy. They're both giants in this whole web hosting world, right? But the question is, which one is right for you? That's what we're going to unpack.
Yeah, and what's fascinating is they both try to appeal to beginners, but they have slightly different approaches. It's like they're speaking different dialects of web hosting for newbies.
Okay, I like that. Different dialects.
Yeah.
So break it down for me. What are those key differences?
Well, Bluehost is like that patient friend who walks you through every single step. They have this fantastic website launch checklist that's so helpful, especially if you're not super techy. Covers everything like connecting your domain name, optimizing your site for search engines.
So no getting lost in the technical weeds with Bluehost. That's a relief for someone like me who's more comfortable with words than code.
Exactly. And they've really nailed that user-friendly experience, particularly if you love WordPress. In fact, they're one of only 3 hosts that are officially recommended by WordPress.org themselves.
Wow, that's a serious stamp of approval. Sounds like Bluehost is the place to be if you're a WordPress fan. What about GoDaddy, though? What's their specialty?
GoDaddy's like the ultimate one-stop shop for your online presence. They are a powerhouse when it comes to domain management. They have a massive selection of domain names and super competitive prices. They even offer domain auctions and brokerage services. So if you're on the hunt for that perfect, unique domain name, GoDaddy's got you covered.
Okay, so if you're looking for that catchy domain name, that's where you want to be. But what about actually building the website?
Well, they both offer website builders, but they take kind of different approaches. Bluehost includes a very basic drag-and-drop website builder with all of their plans. It's simple, but it gets the job done, especially if you're building a pretty basic website. GoDaddy, on the other hand, offers a more powerful website builder that's packed with features, including some pretty robust e-commerce options. But it's a separate purchase, so that adds to the overall cost.
Ah, so there's a trade-off there. You know, simplicity and affordability with Bluehost. Or power and features with GoDaddy. But it's going to cost you, speaking of cost. How do they actually compare price-wise?
On the surface, they seem pretty similar, but that's where things get a little bit tricky. Bluehost's entry-level plans are very transparent. They include a lot of essential features right from the get-go, like an SSL certificate, which, by the way, is crucial for security and can even boost your search engine ranking.
Okay, wait, hold on. Back up for a sec. SSL certificate. What is that? Why is that so important?
Sure, so basically it's a digital certificate that encrypts the connection between your website and your visitors' browsers. This makes sure that any sensitive information, like credit card details or login credentials, is transmitted securely. Plus, Google really favors websites that have SSL certificates, so it gives them a slight edge in the search results.
Okay, that makes sense. So Bluehost just includes this essential security feature for free on all of their plans.
Exactly. Whereas with GoDaddy, you only get the free SSL certificate on their higher tier plans. And that's not the only hidden cost you need to watch out for. Domain privacy, which protects your personal contact information from being publicly listed, is also more budget-friendly with Bluehost.
Sneaky. It's like all these hidden costs keep popping up with GoDaddy. It makes you wonder what else they're going to charge you for down the line.
Yeah, it's a valid concern. Transparency is really important when it comes to pricing, and Bluehost definitely wings in that department. But one thing that neither platform offers is a one-click backup solution. So regardless of which host you choose, you will need a bit of technical know-how to handle manual backups.
Okay, so a little bit of tech savviness is still required,
Right.
even with these user-friendly platforms. Good to know.
Good,
We've
yeah.
covered a lot of ground here. Ease of use, performance, security, pricing. What about customer support? Because, let's face it, even the most tech-savvy folks need help sometimes.
Absolutely. And both Bluehost and GoDaddy offer live chat and phone support, which is essential for those moments when you need immediate assistance. They also have extensive knowledge bases with articles and tutorials that cover a wide range of topics.
Okay, that's reassuring. But is there a difference in the quality of their customer support?
From the research and user feedback we've analyzed, Bluehost consistently gets higher marks for their customer support, particularly for WordPress users. Their support team just seems to have a deeper understanding of the platform and can resolve those issues more efficiently.
Makes sense, considering they're one of the few hosts that's officially recommended by WordPress.org. It sounds like they've really invested in building a strong support team for WordPress users.
Exactly. So if you're a WordPress enthusiast, just knowing that you have that dedicated team of experts at your disposal is a huge plus.
Okay, so we've got ease of use, performance, security, pricing, and even customer support covered. Now let's take a step back and think about the bigger picture. What does all of this mean for someone who's trying to choose between Bluehost and GoDaddy?
Well, it boils down to this. Bluehost is like that reliable friend who's always there to help, especially if you're new to this whole web hosting thing, or you're a die-hard WordPress fan. They offer a very straightforward, secure, and cost-effective experience with excellent customer support.
And GoDaddy, what's their place in this whole web hosting landscape?
GoDaddy is more like that tech-savvy acquaintance who knows all the latest gadgets and tricks. They offer more advanced features and a wider range of services, but you might end up paying a premium for that expertise. And while their performance is generally good, they don't seem to handle high-traffic situations as well as Bluehost.
Interesting. So it's not just about which platform has more features. It's about choosing the one that really aligns best with your needs, your budget, and your level of technical comfort.
Exactly. Think about the kind of website that you're building. If it's a simple site, like a blog or a portfolio, both platforms could work well. But if you're planning something more complex, something with tons of images or videos, or you're anticipating a lot of traffic, Bluehost might be the safer bet.
And let's not forget about scalability. Both Bluehost and GoDaddy offer a range of plans, from shared hosting for beginners to dedicated servers for those who really need that maximum power and control. But there is a key difference in how they approach those higher-tier plans.
You're right. With Bluehost, their VPS and dedicated hosting options are primarily self-managed. This means you have more control over your server environment, but it also requires more technical expertise.
Hold on. I'm not super tech-savvy. What's the difference between self-managed and managed servers? And why would I choose one over the other?
Great question. Self-managed means that you're responsible for things like server security, updates, and maintenance. It's kind of like owning your own car. You have the freedom to customize it and tinker under the hood, but you also have to take care of all the repairs and maintenance yourself.
Ah, so it's more hands-on. It requires a certain level of technical knowledge.
Exactly. Managed hosting, on the other hand, is like leasing a car. The hosting provider takes care of all that technical stuff for you, so you can just focus on driving. GoDaddy offers managed services as an add-on for their VPS and dedicated hosting plans, which can be a good option if you need the power of those higher-tier plans, but you don't want to deal with all the technical complexities.
Got it. So Bluehost for the DIY crowd. GoDaddy for those who prefer a more hands-off approach. Makes sense.
And remember, those introductory offers can be super tempting, but always compare long-term costs before you make your decision. Renewal prices often jump up after that first-year discount, so make sure you're factoring that into your budget.
Right. Don't get blinded by those flashy promotions.
Mm.
It's all about understanding that total cost of ownership. And speaking of understanding, both Bluehost and GoDaddy are constantly adding new features and services. It's like they're in a race to see who can offer the most.
It's a competitive market out there, and these companies are always innovating to stay ahead of the curve, which is great for us, right? More choices, more features, more flexibility, but it also means that we have to be even more diligent in our research.
Definitely. Don't just go with the biggest name or the flashiest offer. Take the time to understand what each host offers and how it aligns with your specific needs.
Well said. It's about finding the perfect fit for your online endeavors.
Okay, so we've explored the ins and outs of Bluehost and GoDaddy. We've delved into their strengths, weaknesses, those sneaky hidden costs that can really sneak up on you. But ultimately, the best choice depends on you, your website, your needs, and your budget.
Exactly. It's your online journey, and you get to choose the vehicle that will take you there. But before you make your decision, I want to leave you with one final thought. Think about your long-term goals for your website. Do you envision it growing significantly in the coming months or years? Will you need more advanced features or support down the line?
Yeah, it's easy to just focus on like right now.
Yeah.
But you're right. Thinking about the future can save you a ton of headaches down the road. So you might be totally happy with a shared hosting plan today. But what happens when your traffic explodes? Will you need to upgrade to a more powerful plan? And will your host be able to handle that growth smoothly?
So it's not just about where we are now, it's also about where we want to be in the future.
Exactly. And remember, most hosts don't lock you into a contract. You can always switch if your needs change. Or if you're just not happy with the service. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So it takes a little bit of the pressure off, knowing that you're not making a lifelong commitment.
Right. Don't be afraid to experiment a little bit. Find the host that's the perfect fit for you.
Now let's talk about security. Everyone knows how important that is these days with all the cyber threats out there. So what are the key differences between these two when it comes to security?
Well, Both Bluehost and GoDaddy offer those basic security features, like malware scanning, firewalls, but Bluehost goes a step further by including a free SSL certificate on all of their plans. We talked about why that's so important for security, but it's worth emphasizing that it can also improve your search engine rankings too.
Google loves those secure websites. So Bluehost is already ahead of the game there. What about other security features?
Both platforms offer things like domain privacy, which masks your personal contact information, and automated backups. But they're generally more budget-friendly with Bluehost.
It's like those hidden costs just keep popping up with GoDaddy. Makes you wonder what else they might be charging you for down the line.
That's a valid concern. Transparency is super important when it comes to pricing, and Bluehost definitely wins in that department. But one thing that neither platform offers is a one-click backup solution. So no matter which host you choose, you're going to need a little bit of tech know-how to handle manual backups.
Okay, so some level of tech savviness is required.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to experiment and find the host that's the perfect fit for your online journey. Whether you're drawn to Bluehost's simplicity and affordability or GoDaddy's wider range of features and services, the most important thing is that you feel confident and empowered to build your online presence. And to help you take that next step, we've included links in the description to both Bluehost and GoDaddy.
Awesome. Be sure to check those out. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Bluehost and GoDaddy. We hope you found it helpful and insightful.
Happy hosting, everyone!